For my second pick, I am going to go with one that I'm surprised that the market shifted on this one. I thought I was going to kind of be on an island with the Tennessee Titans, especially after they lost Taylor Lewan to a torn ACL. But with the number 4 pick in the Week 7 Sunday 6-pack, I am taking the Tennessee Titans, no left tackle and all, at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, by the way, played 4 straight home games because of all this COVID madness. So Titans are 1.5-point favorites. I actually got this at plus 2.5. So it got steamed like crazy. I think probably a few hours before we're recording this, I was all ready to take them as a dog. There's a lot of value bet out of this line, but I still like the Titans in this spot. I think you look at what Pittsburgh does well, they get pressure. That's why I was betting them against Baker Mayfield. And you would think that Tennessee, no left tackle, against a defense that gets pressure, big issues, right? Well, Ryan Tannehill, after starting his career very shaky against pressure, last year he was near the top of the league in passer rating under pressure, and this year he's number 1. According to Pro Football Focus, in passer rating under pressure. His other bugaboo was he would take a ton of sacks. And so his passing numbers would look good because, he would either make a good play or he would take a sack. Well, that's not happening anymore. He's getting the ball out quicker, and the sack rate is way down to single digits in terms of percentages when he's under pressure. So he's playing a lot better under pressure. And this is time to sell on the Steeler team after they play 4 straight home games, don't really impress in any of them, get a ton of big plays that kind of buoy their final point totals. And you look at the Steelers, they're bottom 5 on offense in early down success rate, both with the run game and the pass game. And that maybe is surprising to people, considering, Chase Claypool's broken out and the Steelers are, getting to the high 20s every week. But this is a team that has not been consistent on a down-to-down basis. And I don't really think that this defense – I think this is a tough matchup for their defense as well, going against this Titans team that's near the top of the league in both run and pass early down success rate. So the Titans haven't been all that impressive either. But I think that this team is just in this spot, the Titans' 3rd straight home game, the Steelers finally going on the road again. I just think we don't know enough about the Steelers to trust them as road favorites or even short road dogs in this spot. I like Tennessee here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee actually blew the Steelers out, and this was a big kind of letdown game for Pittsburgh, who's just been playing way above their heads offensively.
Wow, I kind of disagree. This Titans team, I feel like I'm lower on the Titans than most of the market. I mean, they keep escaping with these wins over not great teams, by the way. And I mean, even if you look at the Bills game, it was pretty misleading, that box score. But who are the other teams they beat? I mean, their first 3 wins came by a total of 6 points. They could have they were a 2-point conversion away from losing to the Texans at home. The defense is terrible. They get no pressure, none. And then their secondary is banged up. I don't like the defense at all. So, that's kind of the top. That will be big once they get him back healthy. But the big worry for me is the Steelers' run defense is really solid. And although they did lose Bush. And what will happen without Lewan, and some of their backups are banged up as well, because I know that Tannehill's been good under pressure, but they run a lot of play action. And what you saw last week is when Lewan went out, the Texans what you saw last week is when Lewan went out, the Titans had 2 turnovers, one of which was J.J. Watt firing off the edge where Lewan normally is and hitting Tannehill, and he fumbled it. The other one was pressure and he threw a pick. So they were trying to hit a big play. I don't know if that was necessarily pressure generated, but will the Steelers get 1 or 2, will they force a turnover that wouldn't have happened here? I just trust the Steelers defense to get a few more stops over than the Titans. And the Steelers offense hasn't been good. Their offensive line isn't as good this year. And I've been saying that since the beginning of the year. I think this line is about right to me. It's not like I love the Steelers, although this normally is a Tomlin smash spot. He's playing a team that's 5-0 You know, he's a rah coach. He gets his team up for these road games. He's 21-10 against the spread in his career on the road against teams that are over 500. So he should have his team fired up here. Even with the Ravens on deck, these are two undefeated teams in the AFC. So I expect the Steelers to be fired up here. All I want in this game, I think it should be close, is if now that the line is moved, I wish I would have teased the Titans over 8, but now I'm waiting for the Steelers to see if they get the 2.5. If not at 1.5, I'll tease the Steelers up over 7. I think this is a 1-possession game.
I mean, you talk about, and I agree, the Titans, yeah, they haven't beat anybody crazy, but you talk about strength of schedule. These are the Steelers' wins: Giants, Broncos, Texans, Eagles, Browns. I was on the Steelers against the Giants, the Texans, teased them against the Eagles, and bet them against the Browns. So it's not like I don't like the Steelers or I'm not onto them. I think they have a great defense, but I mean, I think I've been getting lucky with them covering in a lot of these spots because, and I think the thing people don't realize about Tennessee is it's a little bit Seattle-like. They're well coached and they just have this offensive formula that it doesn't matter what's going on with the O-line. It doesn't, like, Derrick Henry is just such a unique beast. And then that combined with Ryan Tanner, who, by the way, in all the starts of the Titans so far, he's only failed to throw multiple touchdowns twice as a Tennessee Titan. Like, this offense can score the best of them. This is why we lost this bet, with Houston, because this team, goes down the field twice and just, wins the game. And I just don't think it may sound crazy, and I could be wrong. It's probably at least like a 47, 46% chance I'm wrong, but I don't think Pittsburgh can hang with the Titans offensively. And that's just the bottom line.
Well, let me say that again. Where I think this game could be decided is in the red zone. Like, are the Titans ever going to have any regression in the red zone? They score by the way, red zone scoring touchdown percentage is way up this year too, across the board. And I think that's because teams are able to communicate more. There's not noise, right? That's where noise gets the largest, and teams are going for it on 4th down. But it's the Titans are just so elite. And last year, the Steelers were historically bad in the red zone. Obviously, they had historically bad quarterback play. But if they're settling for field goals, it's tough because that Titans offense is so good in the red zone.
Bottom 5 in offensive early down success rate. Like, that's just that's a huge red flag. Like, you could have a great defense all you want, but if you can't move, the Titans are going to score points. Like, the Titans don't not score points. I think the over is 13-3 or something in Tannehill starts, since taking over. Like, the Titans are going to score. So that Steelers defense, I mean, they gave up 29 to the Eagles. Browns was a predictable letdown spot for the Browns with Baker hurt, but I'm just not impressed with Pittsburgh, so I'm selling them.